And welcome into the Rob and Kale Show. I'm Rob Sanders. Thanks for joining us this evening as I come to you from Columbia, South Carolina, where they got a new baseball coach. We'll talk a little bit about that this evening and whatever else comes our way as I welcome in to the show my podcast co-host, Mr. Carolina Jackpot, Kale Hall. What's up, buddy?
Not too much, Rob. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. How are you, sir? You doing all
Better
right?
than I deserve.
Better than you deserve. All right, fair enough. So, yeah, you guys got a new baseball coach, Jackpot. Are you excited?
I am. We are so freaking back.
You think it's that good, right?
I am. Oh, it's great. It's great. He's bringing a good assistant with him that can recruit. Got Monty Lee on the staff. He's going to be the highest paid assistant coach in college baseball.
He's
I mean,
only
I think
making like $100,000 less than what they were paying Kingston, by the way, is what they're paying
Yeah.
Lee.
Well, they're investing some money into that baseball program. I mean, I hope it works out. I didn't want money for the head guy, but hopefully he can come in here and learn some stuff from this cat, and we'll see where it goes from there. He needs to be kind of be rehabilitated, kind of like they did with old Steve Sarkeesian. Look how that turned out for him.
Hey, and not to be the devil's advocate here, but do you think it's like a Steve Spurrier hire, a legend coming here to retire?
Could be. I mean, I don't know where else I don't know what else he would do from this point if he has success.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not fair to think of it as that way. I mean, the guy knows how to win. I mean, he was a hell of a coach at LSU. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, he was.
So that's not that far fetched to think, hey, he's going to come here and like I don't expect. I'm not saying they're going to win titles and everything else, but they're not going to be a scrub team anymore. They're really not. I mean, because he's got these young assistants coming in.
Well, I mean, they weren't a scrub team anyway. They just
Well, I
performed.
mean, they were
tended
what, 20 games under 500 in conference play with
they
Kingston.
tended to perform like that sometimes.
Yeah, I'm just saying I don't
They're
expect
very
him to go 20 games under 500 in conference play.
Yeah, very very hard to predict, very unpredictable, and that's usually not always good. So,
do you feel better about the baseball program now with it in his hands compared to where it was before, even though he's only been here a short time?
Yeah, are you kidding me? Yeah,
I'm asking because I mean the guy's he's 67 years old, and
I mean he's not 90.
I get it, but still, it's like
My
we're
dad was
asking him every day to
67.
go out
My dad died when he was 83.
Right.
He worked full time until he was 79. So, yeah.
I'm just saying it's like it's an interesting thing when you stop and think about it, because how long do you expect him to be there? I mean, he could be ultra successful and still be screwed up. You know what I mean? With just a short period of time.
He's probably a 5-year guy. He's probably a 5-year guy, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, but 5 years, but maybe they're holding it down for Monty Lee. Maybe they're grooming Monty Lee to take over the program.
They might be, build it up and prove it for him, and give him the keys to a Cadillac instead of giving him the keys to a fucking Dodge Durango or whatever, or not Dodge Durango, Ford Pinto.
How about a Dodge Neon?
Dodge Neon, yes, I forgot about that existing at one point.
The Neon. All right, so there you go with that. If you guys want to talk about that, we can. Oh, I just saw this earlier from the Clemson men's basketball page. The ACC SEC Challenge next year, or this coming year, Clemson will play the Kentucky Wildcats, Jackpot.
Yeah, I saw that earlier. Who's South Carolina playing in that?
Hold on, I'll look it up for you. But I just saw that on like the
I hope
social
like
for.
somebody like Wake Forest or something interesting, not somebody fucking stupid.
They should. I'd love it if you guys played North Carolina and you actually
Don't tell me
beat
it's like fucking
because
BC. Look, you give me a what the fuck? I mean, I guess somebody's got to play them, right? Oh,
yeah.
how fucking interesting.
Billy Cole says, by the way, Boston's not on the Olympic basketball team. Yeah, because God, I posted about this earlier. Who do you take off to put these youngins on? No, nobody
Right.
has an answer for that. Like someone said, well, you got to take Brittany Griner off. Okay, if you take Brittany Griner off, she's a center. You can't go in not having enough bigs because the Chinese women will eat you up. So you got to have enough bigs. If she can't play because of injury, you go and you get another big. You don't get another guard. Why do I have to explain basic basketball to people? Everybody has like this hard on for Caitlin Clark. Not saying that she's bad. And by the way, she's handling this gracefully. I'm not upset with her. She's doing what she's supposed to be doing as far as trying to make her way in the WNBA and everything else. But oh my God, it's a travesty that she's not on the team. I'm going to break this down for you very simply. If you watch any basketball, she does not deserve to be on that team. If that hurts your feelings, you don't know shit about hoops. You can't tell me one player on that team that you would take off that is a guard that she could replace. And by the way, she
Right. I
wouldn't
mean,
make
they
the
earned. I
fucking
mean,
training camp.
they earned their spots. They
Right.
kind of paid their dues. In other words.
Exactly. All of them have Olympic experience, which, by the way, the Olympic game is different than the regular game. People are making it out like it's a political thing or whatever, and it's not. She's not in 2028. It'll be her team. Right now, it's not. She would go through the training camp that they had, the 1 month up where they have practices every day. Diana Taurasi may if they played together in practice, Diana Taurasi may make her quit playing basketball. That's how much of an assassin Diana Taurasi is. So let's just stop. Just stop. It's ridiculously stupid. I'm tired of people. Oh, she should be there. You haven't watched enough hoops to understand any of it. I know that makes me sound like I'm an arrogant ass, but holy shit. Ask anybody that you know that knows hoops. Terrence Oglesby, former Clemson guard, put something out about it too. She's great. Fans love her, but as far as being there to win the Olympic gold medal, which is what they've done every year since 1996, you've got to have your best team. And putting her out there means you're putting somebody else off that could help you. So just stop it. It's just stupid.
Um, Fireball says all women's sports all shit. Let's be for
All right.
real.
Well, hold on. Let's. I have something for you on that. Uh, we can go by raw numbers, right? We're all baseball fans, right? I love college baseball. Do you know
Mhm.
why a lot of the super regional games on Saturday were on the app instead of on the network television? Because the WNBA outdrew them by 3 times. There were
Wow,
three
really?
times many people, yeah, from what I read from some numbers, that outdrew the college baseball. And I love college baseball. But in the end, it comes to asses in seats, ladies and gentlemen. And these women are putting asses in seats. You may not want to watch them, and that's fine. But the majority of the people are. And you can't argue with them damn ticket stubs. Can't
Well,
argue with them damn ratings numbers.
everybody
If
seems
people
to
are
be
watching it, shut up.
everybody seems to really liking the college baseball right now. I don't know exactly what the ratings were on it, but I mean the crowds at those super regional games were all fucking jacked. And I like the changes that they've made to the game. That with the pitch clock to speed the
Yeah.
fucking game up. God, that was great.
That is
Are
great.
they
And that's
doing that in the majors or no?
Yeah, yeah. The majors, I think they have a pitch clock in the majors too. But
Okay.
here's the thing too. You have one other note there on that. Having the ACC and the SEC is the only representatives in the College World Series is bad for college baseball. You're making it a sport where it's just regional. And you know what? The majority of the country does not care. If it's just, hey, it's those Southern hillbillies playing baseball, who gives a shit? That's the way a lot of people look at it. And once you go west of the Mississippi, they're not going to watch, and you're not going to get numbers, and you're going to end up with WNBA games on because it's more appealing to the rest of the country. It's just the way that it is. So everybody cheering, yay, we got all ACC, SEC teams in there. That's not what's best for the sport long term. It's really not. Sorry. Anyway, I hate to be that guy here, but enough about Caitlin Clark. That's some silly shit. Schultz says the Republicans are up 14-5 in the congressional baseball game.
What?
He's watching the congressional baseball game. Matthew's right. Yeah, it's like they get together and they play baseball. I don't know. Matthew says this year was kind of an anomaly. West Coast usually has some CWS representation. Hey, that's great.
Yeah.
There you go.
They usually are. Stanford usually had a good baseball team.
Fireball with another comment here. It says, if all them ratings are higher, even though I didn't watch one game, it's because of Clark and drama shit seems a money pull and setup. I'm just telling you what the ratings say, sir. You can go look it up.
UCLA, Arizona, all those teams have been good in baseball in the past. Even Texas. Yeah. What the fuck happened to Texas?
I think they're paying penance for joining the SEC, and they know that they're going to be a flop over there in the conference. I can't wait until they have like the first SEC meetings where Texas is involved, and Texas is so used to walking in and just doing whatever the fuck they want. We're not going to have horns down because we don't like that, and other teams should be fined and all that shit. The Vanderbilt representative will laugh at them and say, look, you go sit over there next to Mizzou and shut the hell up, because what you do and what you did in the Big 12 doesn't happen here. And that is going to happen. I'm looking forward to that.
Think there's any chance that that Vanderbilt strikes the upset against Texas this year?
in baseball?
No. Yeah, baseball.
Yeah. I'm like Rob Sanders, old tank top, joined the chat. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. I miss Jackpot's recliner. That was my favorite commenter. I don't know what happened.
That one, Jackpot's toilet.
Jackpot's toilet. That's pretty good.
Jackpot's toilet was around for a while.
Yeah. Anyway, as Wheezy joins the program.
That's my spider pug.
Spider pug?
Yeah. She had a little Spider-Man suit on earlier.
Yeah. You dress your dog up in a Spider-Man suit, Jackpot?
My wife did. She had a little thing on her. The pug is literally like the only dog that can fall asleep sitting up. Aren't you?
I never thought about that. Anyway. All right, if you'd like to join the show this evening, you want to talk about the new man at South Carolina, we'll talk about that. If you want to take me to terms of what I said about the WNBA and everything else, SEC Dog says Clark should go play for Italy and put 70 on these USA haters with a coach that lets her play the game. What a joke the WNBA is. The WNBA is just physical, man. You got literally grown-ass women, and she's got to take time to mature to that. And even she said that. Let's welcome Billy to the program. What's up, buddy? Hello, Billy.
Hey.
Hi.
I'm not taking you to task. I'm not, Caitlin Clark, but if we're going to report it, let's report it accurately. Right now, there's an article, and they'd have to look at. She leads 3 out of 4 in categories of shooting, offense of 75% people on that team. That's fact. That's stats.
On Team USA or on
Team USA. On Team USA. You can look up the article. She leads 75%, 3 out of 4 of the major offensive categories.
She hasn't played internationally. She hasn't played in the Olympics yet. So where are those?
We're talking about the WNBA. Those stats.
So we're talking about her WNBA stats. Okay, I get you.
And she was
a very small. She was
attending.
Size.
Well, I'm sure she'll make it when she plays international. I don't think she has a problem. And she was attending the Olympic tryouts and was invited until the last one, which was during the Final Four or Final Two, she didn't attend that. So, let's don't put her off like she's some slouch or something. How many points did she score against the national champions? How many points?
I don't.
How many points?
Well, what? Give her 70. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Who do you take off the team that has the international experience?
But
yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question. You know,
who do you take off?
Well, if you want to go with these players are in the pros and they're proven and blah blah blah, I can go with that. But
no, I mean,
let's not act like she's not going to get hers. She's getting hers.
I'm not a slouch. I'm not saying she's a slouch. She's a hell of a basketball player. I'm just saying, if we are singing "My Country 'Tis of Thee" and the Star Spangled Banner, we got stars and stripes on our ass, and we want to win the Olympic gold medal in France like we've done every year since 1996. Who do you take off that team for her?
You know, that would be the same question.
No one can give me an answer on that. It's just, I just want to see Caitlin Clark.
No, I'm not about that. You know,
no, I'm just saying nobody has a realistic answer that can come at me with it and be like, oh, this is why. And like you did with the facts on the other front, that's fine too. But no one can tell me whose spot she should give up.
Well, somebody's going to be left out because you got a lot of starting guards in the NBA, and you can't say they're slouches. By no means, they're professional guards. You could probably put anybody out there, and they're still going to win, regardless. So, I don't know. Just like what was it? The Dream Team. Who was the point guard that got left off the team? That
Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, and he had just won. The NBA championships and stuff.
I can make an
Michael Jordan didn't want him on the team because he was a distraction.
Right, because if I have that team and I'm putting that together and I go to Michael Jordan and say, hey, do you want to play? And he goes, I will play, but this guy doesn't play. And oh, by the way, we can have John Stockton as our point guard. I'll roll with Stockton and Jordan over Isaiah Thomas.
That's a good point.
I mean, that's a great point. Yeah, we're gonna have Isaiah Thomas, but no John Stockton and no Michael Jordan on the Dream Team.
So if you was picking an NBA team and you got first pick between Stockton and Isaiah Thomas, who do you take?
I take Stockton because I think he's a better point guard. But that's just me, and I like John Stockton. So I also think Isaiah Thomas is an asshole. So there's that too.
Big Barney Ross. Molinari is a good hire for South Carolina. He's a good hire.
Certainly is.
I just hope he doesn't get expectations up too soon, too quick, because he's the all-time winningest coach. Spurrier had won several national championships too. So let's don't book our tickets to Omaha quite right yet.
Well, I mean, getting there is not. It's not. South Carolina has the tradition, and they should be in that realm all the time. I mean, like super region. If you don't go to the super regionals every year with South Carolina, then you're not really doing well, in my opinion.
Well,
am I wrong on that, Jackpot?
I don't think so.
You know, that's why they play the game. Somebody's going to lose. So, what's the other thing? Oh, he'll do good.
Well, he
Gotta
had
have a recruiter.
five appearances in Omaha in the 17 years he coached at LSU.
He did good at Notre Dame too.
Yeah.
You know, to recruit people to come play up there in the cold. I mean,
I don't. I'm with you on that.
It's not easy to get people to come up there and play with home run Jesus.
Yep.
And they have touchdown Jesus. Do they have a home run Jesus at the baseball stadium? I wonder.
I don't know. Oh, I was watching the Georgia. Who was it they was playing?
NC State.
Yeah. Bases loaded. Condon, the man, comes up. Strike. Chris Foster was right. He struck out.
Mm.
And but I don't know. But yeah, I think Molinaro will be fine. And they did keep Monty Lee there, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they're paying him a shit ton of money. I got to look at his last Clemson contract. I think he's getting paid more at South Carolina as an assistant than he got paid to be the head coach at Clemson. I got to look at his contract. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's close. I'm looking it up right now.
Well, I thought for sure he would stretch out and take on the responsibility at being a head coach at Citadel than being an assistant.
I will not let you sit. I will not sit idly by and let you trash the Citadel, sir.
I'm not trashing the Citadel.
Maybe he didn't want to go there because he already been at the College of Charleston. Maybe he felt like that was a little bit sacrilegious. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, that's like you with the East Carolina coach. Maybe he likes where he's at and he's comfortable where he's at, and he didn't want to move. And
all right. Well, so Monty's
contract, because he didn't come to South Carolina, you're going to trash the man.
Monty Lee's contract at Clemson.
I don't know that he was even offered the job. So,
yeah.
Oh, I thought he was the way it was being reported.
I don't know.
A lot of teams have come after him, and he's told them no. So I don't know why teams would keep asking him. I mean,
he can stay at East Carolina until he, don't want to coach anymore. For all I care, but
it's.
Anyway, Monty
he's going to stop getting asked one day. One day when he's 55, he's going to be like, I want me one of them big jobs, and them big jobs ain't going to come calling.
Well, there's something to being happy where you're at. But anyway, your Tennessee prediction today, that was online. I see them 3 losses, but I'm not so sure about the Kentucky loss. And I'm not saying you're stupid. I don't think they get past Oklahoma. And NC State ain't gonna be no pushover.
No,
so they could be 8-4 easily.
It could be. But the Kentucky thing with me is just that I think Mark Stoops has been there a long time. I think that they've got the right mix of quarterback, wide receivers, run game, defense coming back. I think they're going to be good and surprise some people this year. And I just think it's time for him to get that one signature win. And it's been Chris, I think, pointed out they haven't won in Neyland. He said a full. They won in 2020, but it was.
I don't go by that stuff. I don't. That doesn't.
I know, but at some point, that's got to change.
The odds are in his favor that eventually he's going to win a game. But 87-25 or whatever it is, that isn't very good either. So, but the reason I was calling is y'all should be streaming on SEC channel. They're showing Garnet and Gold, Garnet and Black game. I guess.
Oh, really?
It's on SEC channel.
Oh, okay.
Y'all should be streaming that. Let me get off here and let some other callers come in. Good night, guys. Later.
Good night.
So Clemson paid Monty Lee $350,000 from a 5-year deal per year. So he's expected to sign a 3-year contract for $550,000 to be an assistant coach at South Carolina. So,
wow.
Yeah. Just wrap your head around those numbers for a minute.
Well, those were pre-inflation numbers.
pre-inflation. Very good, Jackpot. Chris, welcome to the show, sir.
Hey, what's up? No, yeah, I had a lot of the talking points I was gonna go over. Also, my issue with the women's, I'm probably not even gonna watch it in the Olympics, but it's became too much kind of a UConn love fest. They'll sit there and try to put as many UConn. Now, I'm not saying they're all UConn players, but Sue Bird and Diana run that selection process, and they shouldn't be allowed to anymore. They kept Candace Parker off of it. Let some other people get some Olympic medals. You know, they've got 5.
I'm with you on that to a point, but Candace Parker also had issues with Gino. She's on record with that.
Oh, I don't disagree, but there were years that she didn't get on the Olympic team when Gino wasn't coaching it because Sue and Diana were still making all the decisions because they were scared to death that if they put CP on there, that Diana and Sue wouldn't play, and that's, oh, we'll lose the Northeast market. And it's just like, come on, just stop letting them run the. Like Michael Jordan never sat there and tried to be that hands-on with the selection process. Kobe or nobody ever did that. You just let the Olympics committee do that shit.
I agree with you to an extent, and I don't know how much. I mean, and yes, they do have a good portion of that, but I mean, it's really hard for me to sit here and say, "Hey, we can't send." We have to tell Sue Bird, one of the best point guards of all time, and Diana Taurasi, who's just a dog, man. Yeah, we don't want you to play just because we want to run out whoever. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's really hard for me to think that
Well,
way.
if you sit there and let those girls play till they're 50 years old and you don't let anybody else learn how to be an Olympian,
50,
by the
50
time you need
is a stretch, sir. But
Diana is 41 years old, and she said she'll play. She plans on doing another Olympics after this. She plans on doing Olympics at 45 years old.
Well, Dawn Staley played in the 2004 Olympics.
But I don't know. UConn's got a little, which they're losing their grip on it. That's one thing I like seeing about Dawn Staley. She doesn't as much as Pat didn't bend over for Gino and give in to his bullshit, and Dawn's not either. But a lot of people do, and I'm kind of glad they're not running the sport like they were.
Yeah, and that's a fair statement. But you also have to look at it from this perspective too. I'll take Asia Wilson over all 3 of them.
I would take Caitlin Clark over Breonna Stewart in a heartbeat, and they play the same position, and she's already better than Breonna Stewart has been in the pros.
I'm talking about I would take Asia Wilson over Sue Bird and Taurasi right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. Asia's a stud. There's a lot of young studs that I would love to see on that team.
Give me the 26-year-old Asia Wilson over the
My thing about the sport is you're getting a lot of young girls tuning in to the college game because they see girls that are their age. Like, I get it, true blue women's basketball fans are going to tune in, but the 18-year-old or the 14-year-old that's getting into high school ball wants to see, as much as I think she's a little dramatic, and Angel Reese, a Caitlin Clark, and Asia Wilson, Rakia Jackson, they don't want to see Sue Bird's 50-year-old ass out there. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's just you gotta pass the game on to the younger cats. But
I can tell you this: if they go to France and they look tired in the backcourt, because that's what we're going to be dealing with, is you got a very veteran heavy backcourt. If they look tired in the backcourt and they drop a game, then there's going to be like, why are we running out the soccer moms? That's going to be the headline. Instead of these young bucks like Reese and Clark and all these other ones that are.
The only thing that sucks, and the reason why I don't think that'll happen, is that even our 40-year-olds are more dominant than 95% of the international teams out there. Like, just because we're so dominant in the women's game. But onto sports that people actually watch. I have to disagree with Jackpot on the Kentucky. Like, I know you guys touched on it, but I don't think Mark Stoops' big win's going to be in Neyland at 7:30 at night with that crowd. I just don't think he's got it in him even this year. But I mean, we'll see. And then NC State, I didn't realize Dave Doran is 4-10 against Power 5 non-conference opponents. and he is 1-6 against SEC opponents. And it's not like he's been out there playing Georgia. And I mean, the best team he's probably played in those 7 games was the South Carolina team that beat the dog shit out of him. But he's 1-6, and his one win was a bowl game over a 6-6 Vanderbilt. So I mean, betting on him to come out and be competitive in that game, I don't know if I would. And Grayson McCall, I think he's kind of like a poor man's Sam Hartman. He's ran that offense, that claw fence type offense at Coastal Carolina. And the moment that Tim Beck, who runs the NC State offense, got there and said, "Hey, kid, you're not running this mesh screen offense anymore. We need you to run a more pro-style offense," he was abysmal. And I just don't see him stepping up in competition and being better running the same offense that Tim Beck ran.
He actually, his numbers were best when he was a freshman at Coastal.
Yeah.
He regressed every year. So
well, Jamie Chadwell's system, like we talk about gimmicks and make fun of gimmicks all the time. Jamie Chadwell's system it's tweaked a little bit, but it's basically the same thing Dave Clawson runs. It's a lot of screens. Sometimes you might keep the ball and run it up the middle. You kind of need a big shouldered quarterback that can take hits a lot the game. But if you need him to throw, like Sam Hartman, the moment you needed Sam Hartman to throw 20 yards down the field, he couldn't do it. And that's why Notre Dame took the step back they did. And Sam Hartman, he was a top 5 draft pick 12 months ago, and look at him now.
Well, to first of all, if you've listened to the show a while, I've been saying forever that Dave Doran is a dope and an idiot and a jerk. You don't have to look at his records; just listen to the show.
Yeah.
The only person who looks after him here is Jackpot. Jackpot loves him some Dave Doran. Oh, buddy, that guy is a douche, capital D douche. All right?
He is a winner.
He does.
I was
really
looking
for Williams and Marys of the world.
His pronouns are he, him, winner.
I was looking at when I was looking to see his record against non-Power 5 opponents. He didn't play a non-conference Power 5 opponent in the regular season his first 4 years. What was the ACC doing? Hell, he got to play like William and Mary and Richmond in the same season. How were they managing that in the ACC?
Well, I don't know what the hell they do
on those Virginia schools.
I don't know what they do in Raleigh.
And then my last
Dave Doran is an absolute douche. So
yeah, him. I forget who the running back was. It Gallman that got the concussion, and he was like, "Yeah, we knocked their running back out." It's like, dude, you bragging about giving the dude a concussion? Like, chill out, man. You're a grown man.
The best part was they went during the COVID year. They went to play in some shit game. The team they were supposed to play, they had like COVID breakout and they couldn't play the game.
Holiday Bowl.
Yeah, the Holiday Bowl. So this fucking idiot goes in and takes the trophy. We won. We didn't play, but we fucking won.
Oh, they did.
They didn't play.
That next season, when that was at the end of the 2021 season, and like heading into the 2022 season, I watched that because they had like what's the quarterback's name? Devin Leary.
Yeah,
he was there for 2022, and he was like showing some kids the facility at NC State. Like some kids just wanted to film it. It wasn't like a recruiting visit or anything. But he's showing them all the stuff, and it pans right by the 2021 Holiday Bowl trophy.
Yeah, they haven't like a prominent spot there at NC State because they don't have any other trophies. They wanted to make sure they got a bowl trophy because they're not going to actually win any damn thing. It's against a Power 5 opponent. They didn't have a chance in hell. UCLA, I think, is where they were supposed to play. They could have ran out their twos and probably kicked that ass.
And then you guys were asking about Pulmonary. My only issue is there's going to be 2 outcomes. He either fails and you're doing the same thing again in 3 to 5, or if he has success, he's so old you're doing the same thing in 3 to 5. Now you're more stable. I feel like I don't feel like Mark Kingston let you guys like in a Jeremy Pruitt type situation where you were just you hadn't been to the postseason in years and years and years, and you just facing all kinds of bad shit. But I don't know. It's kind of a young man's game nowadays. So I mean, if you look at the College World Series. Tony Vitello's 44. The Kentucky coach is I think he's 45. Link Jarrett's 47 or 49, something like that. Like, it's going to be tough on a late 60-year-old man. I think he'll be 67 by the time the season starts. So that'd be my only concern. But and if Ray Tanner's trying to set y'all up for the Monty Lee switcheroo down the road, like, that would kind of upset me as a fan. But we'll see.
Is Monty Lee the Will Muschamp now? Basically, what I mean is, like, he's the coach in waiting. Like, they had him with Mac Brown and everything. Like, Mac Brown's an old man, but Muschamp's down there he's going to take on everything, and then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, that didn't work out too well.
Well, I mean, sometimes the coaches hang on to them, which that's how Nick Saban kept Kirby Smart for as long as he did, because he kept saying, "Hey, you're the head coach in waiting. You're going to get Alabama when I'm done with it." And then he was just never done with it. He just kept wanting to win and win and win. And trust me, I would if Nick Saban wants to stay, you don't tell Nick Saban to leave. But eventually, Kirby looked and said, "I don't think he's ever going to leave, man." And if South Carolina's running into the same problem that Maneri just wants to keep winning, then you got to keep him. But I think that if it starts getting shaky, if Ray Tanner is still there, it's going to be like, "Oh, well, we already got the coach, and everybody wanted him in the first place. The team wanted him. We should have hired him when we wanted to. So have a good retirement, Maneri. Here's your buyout, and here's your new coach, Monty Lee." And that would piss me off as a South Carolina fan if that happened, but we'll see.
Yeah. We'll see how that works, Chris.
Well, hopefully I'm calling you guys Saturday with we're still in the winner's bracket, but we'll see. Fucking, I'm nervous. Florida State's got me nervous, but we're 15 behind. We're 15.
This is your year, though, man. I mean,
I'm hoping so, man. We're 15 behind. In the BB Core era, we're only 15 home runs behind that LSU team to break the record, and we're doing it with Nerf bats. So I'm hoping we could stay there, make a long run, maybe get those 16 home runs and get that record. But we'll see.
All right, buddy. Well, you have a great evening, man. We'll talk to
you guys too.
See ya.
By the way, Josh Pate, he had comments about Molinari. Here we go. Oh, wait a minute. This is not playing. Figure that out. Hold on. We'll bring that up in a moment. Oh, that's not playing over there. That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, go ahead, Jack. What you got, man?
Mike Bridges over in the comment section seems to be awfully upset that the Gamecocks didn't go with Landon Powell. Sir, he's coaching a Division II program right now. I mean, no. I mean, that would be like hiring somebody from Dollar General to go.
It's going to be a home run.
BJ's Wholesale Club. I mean, it just wouldn't work. Not right now.
Run high.
Here we go. There it is, Jeff.
Higher in time, or it's going to be a disaster. It's going to be a home run higher in time, or it's going to be a disaster.
There you go. Just use that for Josh Pate. There you go.
Seems like I've heard that before.
Hey, how's it going?
Schultz, what's up, buddy?
Not much.
Sir, have you unblocked Jay on in the comments?
I did. I hope you're happy now.
It has nothing to do with me, sir. I'm trying to help you. Trying to help you young fellas out, man. Don't let Jay get to a point where he's won if you blocked him, because then he can tell everybody.
Yeah, you got a good. I thought about that myself, because I've always thought if you block someone, they've won. Because there was a North Carolina fan who started something with me, and man, we were going at it, and the stuff he was saying, but that and he called SEC basketball when he was talking trash to me. He called SEC basketball weak. So that's the only reason why we're doing good. But then that night they proceeded to lose to Kentucky. So I told him, hey, your comments age like fine wine. And he got all mad, told me to go find friends and block me. And I'm just all like, bruh, you started the argument. But I felt good because
you won, because he had to create this boundary where he has to live in a vacuum and he can't take anyone.
You laid the hammer down.
Negative to him. Yeah, you laid the hammer down. Yeah,
no, it's just like thank you. And he started it. The guy started it. And the stuff he was saying, I mean, man, the stuff he was saying, I mean, you can't get mad and then block someone with the stuff that this guy was saying. But anyway, jackpot, like you said, the Mecca is restored. It is restored. We are going to make the super regionals next year. I'm going to go ahead and say it. We're making the super regionals next year. It's happening.
I mean, I'm thinking we might win the whole shebang next year.
I hope so.
Not
I
out
don't
of
even know who's going to be on your fucking team next year, but okay.
I do got something
Holy
I want to
shit.
say about another thing why Mark Kingston sucked. You know how you would never go after in-state kids?
Mm-hmm.
You remember? So get this. So as someone who's known Cameron Canarella since kindergarten, he grew up a South Carolina fan. I don't know if y'all knew that, but Kingston never once even looked at him. So meanwhile, Monty Lee looked at him, and he's the whole reason why he's at Clemson. Monty Lee, you know, I'm happy Monty Lee stuck around because he recruits in-state kids. He does a good job with that. And he flipped another kid that played at the high school I went to he flipped another kid over when he came to Carolina. But same as the kid he flipped over, his name is Daniel Parker, by the way. I wonder whatever happened to Darian Pendergrass. I don't know if you remember that name. Kingston ran him off. He was another guy that came out of my high school. Kingston did get, but he ran him off. But
what high school was that?
Hartsville High School.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we produced a few guys. It was the home to the infamous Albert Hainsworth, stomped on a guy's head. I don't know if you remember that.
That's also
Tennessee's finest.
That's where Clemson defensive lineman Devontae Braveheart came from.
K-Part. Yeah, and
Braveheart.
I knew him personally. He bailed out on us his senior year to go to IMG, and it pissed me off. But
sounds
anyway,
like a piece of shit. He was carrying guns around or something.
He is. He's real arrogant too, and his own cousin was pissed off when he left to go to IMG, and they don't even talk anymore.
Oh well, he serves him right. He's at the right place then.
But
for assholes.
But the
I hate to be this way, Schultz, but Rooster is literally in the middle of Florida State's field.
Whoa!
What in the blue hell are you doing, sir?
Well, I was looking for Octavian and Ray, but Octavian, he was outside polishing the spears, but I can't find Ray. I don't know where Ray is at.
So you're at Doak Walker Stadium right now. I can see the big scoreboard in the background. I don't know. I guess you're either you're auditioning to be the new Tonto, or you ride out on the horse and throw the spear into the ground, or you're I don't know, putting in some new toilets up there, Florida State.
How would you get out there?
Tearing it down?
Nah, they just redoing some seating. But yeah, I just wanted to let Chris know that I went over and talked to the baseball team earlier, and they told me they're kicking Tennessee's ass. So I don't know. He might be crying over the weekend.
Well, if you're a Tennessee fan, as far as baseball goes, until they get over the hump and actually do it, because it's not an issue of talent. They've got that. They just have to break whatever monkey's on their back and do it. Until they do it, you're kind of sitting on pins and needles right now.
Yeah, I was looking for that 23-24 playoff banner or national championship over here too. I didn't see it.
I wonder if they hung a banner for losing 70 to whatever to Georgia. That should be over the toilets over there.
Well, it's probably about they showed up about like the field looks now. Nobody showed up.
Hey, the football offices are right behind you. Put your camera over your head. Fuck you, Norvell. No one likes you. There we go. You're welcome.
Damn. All right, fellas. I just wanted to jump on for a second. I'll let Schultz finish up his Jay.
Well, I appreciate it, Rooster. It's cool that you're there.
All right, guys. I'll let you later.
Look at that. We got live folks from right there at Doak Walker.
It looked weird where he was standing at. It looks like all the seats were gone.
But I was
he's doing something down there. He's doing something down there.
was,
He let me cuss out that idiot Norvell from here. That's pretty good.
Well, you know something funny? Well, you know something funny is somebody that I know who's a Clemson fan likes Norvell, says he thinks he's a good Christian guy. Rooted for him in the ACC title game.
Yeah, some people buy the snake oil.
I used to think he was him until he let all his players bitch out of that damn bowl game. That's just sad.
But no, I was trying to get the point though. So Monty Lee, what Chris was talking about, I have a feeling that's what they're doing. That's definitely what they're doing. Monty Lee's supposed to be the in waiting guy. And to be honest, if if we do great with who we've got now, I'd be completely fine with Monty Lee then taking over because I think he can do well. I just don't feel like right now is the right time to promote someone like that. I just feel like that's too risky right
I
now,
think
maybe
there's a
later on.
section of I think there's a section of Gamecock fans that were like, "Hey, 2 years ago, this guy was coaching Clemson. Fuck that. We don't want that
Yeah.
here. He needs to spend 3 more years on the sideline."
It didn't mind. I didn't mind.
Carolina.
I didn't mind that he coached Clemson. I minded that he was let go from Clemson for failing to meet expectations. Doesn't matter if it was Clemson or Louisville or fucking Kansas State. I don't care. He
Well,
got fired for not doing his job.
well, people forget he did well his first 5 years there. He made the tournament his first 4. Year 5, COVID hit. And after year 5 was when things went downhill
What
for him.
have
He
you
had that.
done for me lately? Yeah, it was like he was like 20-4 or something the COVID season when they suspended
Well, yeah,
play.
he had Spencer Strider as his Friday night starter. I mean, that sure as hell makes you look really good, you
Yeah,
know.
or 12 and I think they were 12-4 actually, but they were having a pretty good year and they had done well in the
I'm
years
sorry.
previous under him. And they made the tournament. I don't know if they made a super regional, but they made the tournament every year. But after that,
Yeah, I'd forgotten. I
it
saw
fell
that
off.
because I was looking at his record year by year. Because the other day I was just interested in it. I couldn't even remember. I didn't even know that we'd even played baseball games that year. I thought the whole season was suspended from the get go, but I guess it wasn't.
Now we played the first 16
Month.
games. Kingston would have
Yeah,
gotten
right.
Kingston would have
Because
got
that
fired
hit
that
that was
year.
in March, right? Like the
Right.
middle.
Kingston would have got fired that year if we had played a full season. I remember
It
them
was like
saying COVID saved his job.
it was the end of March because it was the Gamecocks were fixing to take the floor to play Arkansas in the SEC basketball tournament when they canceled the thing. It was like what?
Yeah, I remember. I was devastated about the girls' team. I remember that was heartbreaking.
I think the one thing I remember from that was that they had like at the ACC tournament the night before they shut everything down. You know, we're being told, hey, this COVID is some serious shit. But the night before everything shut down, they had a baby race at the ACC tournament. So they lined up the babies on the baseline, and they had the babies crawl to their mom at half court. So these babies, it's like they're out in the middle of all these all these people, and these babies are all on the floor just crawling to their moms, and we're being told the next day COVID may kill you.
Do they have masks on?
No, this is before we knew anything about that jackpot, which is even
Oh
funnier.
fuck!
Yeah, so like we didn't know anything about anything with COVID. It was just the next day it's like we're shutting down everything, but 12 hours ago you babies crawl your ass to your mom for the entertainment at the half for an ACC tournament game. What a mess.
Baltimore man says, "Jackpot, do you know anything about the commitment y'all got today?" I don't. No, sorry, I'm derelict in my duty, but I'll find out.
But the
The
I
video
think
on.
What now?
you were oh sorry, my bad, Jackpot.
Yeah, what do you got, buddy? Go ahead.
I was done. What?
No, and who was it? I'm not trying to call the guy out, but was saying about Landon Powell. I didn't want Landon Powell because was coaching at the Division II level. I mean, I get he won a national title, but still, that's risky. That's too risky. It's
Yeah,
too
he
risky.
needs to
Well,
start
it
out
is, and
at a
I
mid
think
major. He
yeah,
probably needs to.
he
He
like
needs to
moved
go
from
to a
there
mid major
to
school.
What now?
like he should
I
be the
say,
next Citadel coach or something like that.
yeah, he needs to go
Yeah,
to
they
a
need
mid
to,
major school like that, and then
or the
work his
College of
way up.
Charleston, or somewhere like that. The College of Charleston, or the Citadel, or maybe Charleston Southern, somewhere like that.
Right.
Yeah, he shouldn't get hired straight from a Division II school straight to the SEC. Just be too risky. Unless if he won, um, unless if he won like say 5 national titles, that'd be different. But still, I mean,
All right, Schultz, your phone's going a little off on me here, but go ahead and wrap it up for me, all right? Because you're in and
all
out.
right.
So.
Anyway, I appreciate y'all letting me on. I'll see you.
All right, buddy. You have a good day, all right? Let's bring in Rob has an SEC bias. Let's see if he's going to join the program.
Hey,
what's up, buddy? How are you?
Hey, how are y'all doing tonight?
Doing good.
I wanted to talk about Nicholas Harbor a little bit because I was simmering on what Billy was saying, so I decided to actually do the research. Okay, gentlemen.
Are you baked right now?
No, but I am about 3 meals deep.
You look okay.
Yeah, about 3 meals deep, and I was pouring them strong, unfortunately. But y'all listen to this. So at his last, he just set a personal best at the 200 meter. It was a 2020. I don't know if y'all saw that. Probably didn't. 20.
Sure, I missed it. Oh, damn it.
If you go to the Olympic qualifying, that would be an automatic bid into the Olympics if he runs that again. It's a 2024 for the 200 meter is an automatic qualifying bid. And then I started looking at previous results, and his 2020 and the past 2 Olympics would net him a top 5 finish in the Olympics at his respective run. So, I mean, a lot of people are sleeping on my man Nicholas Harbor, but when I started digging into it, I mean, he's got a real strong case to make the team and to actually perform well. And that's only at what, he's 19 now?
Yeah.
So if he runs that same 2020 again, like I said, it's an automatic qualifying bid, and then that would be top 5 as far as the past. Kentucky, of course, Big Barney. I got some, I think it's called some misunderstood ginger bourbon. You might have had it before, Big Barney. It's pretty good.
Now he only drinks real bourbon. By the way, read his bourbon reviews on
they're elite.
Page.
Yeah, if you ever want to laugh, go read those. Those things are hilarious.
Yep.
But I mean, what do y'all think about that after hearing that? I didn't realize I knew he had world-class speed, but I didn't know he had top 5 in the Olympics level speed. I thought he was going to be kind of on like the outskirts because he hasn't performed the best in track and field in the NCAA, but you know,
he's a natural athlete. I mean, he's one of those guys, like when he gets off the bus, you're like, oh, okay. And you see him out there and he's just, I mean, I don't know what to say about him, man. I mean, he's a hell of a player, or he has the potential to be a hell of a player, the tools to be a good player.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only at South Carolina could you find someone who is so good at what they do that he can't help you.
That is kind of our luck. If you think, see, you know what? I don't understand why we didn't ever put him out at like kickoff return or something last year. But
Jackpot, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you on that because that is really funny. And this guy's great, but he can't fucking help us.
He's excellent. But,
he's a world class athlete, but he can't help us. He's a world class Olympic athlete, but we can't get him on the football field and make him do anything.
Yep, that's the Gamecock luck. But also,
Mike over in the Mike in the comment section keeps on this damn Landon Powell shit. Y'all think Citadel, Coastal, College Charleston bringing that much more talent in the North? Okay, it's not all about coaching the players. It's not all about that. I mean, it's also about running the damn program. It's more to it than that.
You're muted, Rob.
There's a little bit more to running a program at even a mid-major level to North Greenville. I mean, North Greenville, you get North your guys.
North Greenville probably is like one step above a church softball program. I mean,
I don't know if I would go that far, but the reason that he's so good is because he had bounce backs. He took bounce back guys from Power 5 programs and took them there, and it was like skis a ball.
Yeah,
where you got Jordan Birch out there. Well, I mean, you got Jordan Birch out there lining up against, Jordan Birch at 265 lining up to go against an offensive lineman that weighs 200 pounds if he's lucky and his mom gave him some fried chicken before he went out there. He's going to blow by him every time. It's the same theory down there. I'm not saying he's not a good coach.
You remember when that Pennsylvania school came down and kicked Jordan Birch's
ass out of them? Yeah, didn't they beat him by like 50?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like they beat the dog shit, and that was nationally televised. I watched that on ESPN.
Yeah, and everybody I remember. I think I talked about it on the rundown. It's
Southern
like, look,
Columbia.
Hammond's going to be playing in this national game up here, and it's like I'm like, don't expect Hammond to go up there and just dominate, because when you looked at the other team, they had Hammond had, I think, 4 guys going to, either D1 or that were highly recruited guys. And this other team had, I think, 16 guys. And I'm like, yeah, this ain't going to be very pretty. It's not.
Yeah, and actually, didn't Marcus Lattimore have a decent little program up there at Heathwood Hall while he was there? Pretty sure he did.
they did, but I mean, look, I mean,
the league was trash, but I think Heathwood had a couple good players too.
They did, but I mean, I DJ for Northside Christian here in Columbia, and you see their guys go out and if they play, any school that's like a public school, they just get drugged because I mean, they've literally got they've got like four guys that run offense and defense because they don't have enough players. So I mean, that's the kind of shit you run into when on the talent front. So.
Yeah, well, I also wanted to touch on this, Rob, kind of what we were talking about last week. If you see the Clemson offense kind of run as dejected as it did this past season, do you think this is going to be Garrett Riley's last season? You think they try and hire him?
No, I mean, he's his contract. I mean, I think he's got kind of a. You know what? I mean, I could sit here and try to blow smoke up your ass, but I'm not. I think that if he hasn't developed Klubnik into a top third of the conference quarterback, then he is damaged goods, in my opinion. And he should go off and coach Southeast Louisiana State or wherever and try to rebuild his resume, because it's ridiculous. Now, on the other hand, some of the shit that happened last year with Klubnik, like the Miami game, where Dabo hung him out to dry, he was told to hand off the play at the end of the game, and he didn't do it.
Yeah.
What in the blue fuck are you doing?
That's still to this day. I've never heard of a quarterback calling his own number like that and then just absolutely failing.
You were told to run a play, and you literally looked directly at that and said, "Nah, fuck
you.
I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want to do." Your ass would have walked home from Miami. Absolutely, because I'm telling you,
something Steven Garcia would do.
That I couldn't see Garcia, but Garcia would have scored. Garcia would have
scored there. Maffa would have scored if he'd handed the ball off.
Probably.
Fuck off and all that. That's stupid. It's ridiculous. I mean, he's got to. I understand as a quarterback you have to have some swagger or whatever, but when a coach tells you, "Hey, run this play," there's a reason that we run the play. Maffa was averaging like almost 5 yards a carry.
Yeah, but he didn't call his own play because he has swagger. He just called his own play because he was the dumbass.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened.
It's like, and that's why, like, I've caught grief with that with some of the Clemson folks. They're like, "Well, he's our quarterback, and we have to." No. You can be the quarterback, but you can also be a shithead. And this wasn't, hey, he threw a bad interception. He legitimately looked over at the sidelines and told the offensive coaching staff, "Go fuck yourself. I don't like that play. I'm going to run the play that I want to run. I'm not going to give it to this big bruising running back that's been gashing the Miami all night. No, we're not going to do that. I'm going to try to run the ball in myself."
I think we've fully seen, and Kale, I'll get your opinion on this. I think we've fully seen the return of Clemsoning. What do you think, Kale?
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck off with all that. I'm not even
fair point. This weekend, definitely, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just came up and bit you in the ass the past couple years, man. But
Yeah.
I will say this. I think if Klubnik comes out, it gives out 4 average performances, they're starting Vecina. I know the Clemson fans, man. They'll be calling for Klubnik's head if he comes out and he just looks average. He's got to play elite this year, or they're going to be calling for his head, man. They're spoiled.
You know, one could think, that success at we're at TCU. I mean, maybe that was Sonny Dykes. Maybe that wasn't Garrett Riley.
One other thing too. I'm looking at the
just not
stats
that
here.
good.
In that game, Klubnik had 14 carries for minus 27 yards.
God.
But yeah, let's just run the ball in there. 14, and I am mistaken on my stats here because the Miami defense actually held Clemson in check. 15 carries for 44 yards for Shipley. Here's the shit number though. Maffa had 5 carries for 44 yards. That is, but let's give Klubnik 14 carries. What in the hell happened there?
Well, he got sacked some, it sounds like.
But still, I mean, 14 to damn 5 carries for Maffa? The hell are we doing here? What a mess.
Jackpot, you'll have some good news. The Phil Steele's out, so I'll be expecting you. I believe so. I just saw the article talking about Phil Steele's preseason All-Americans, or All-SEC, I should say.
Well, normally it doesn't come out of the stores. You can get it at Barnes & Noble like after July the 4th.
Oh, well, I just saw some article on Gamecocks Online talking
maybe
about
like pieces of it have leaked out or something, or he may have published something himself. But yeah, he even says in his magazine, like, he has write-ups about why I've watched videos and stuff like the Chris from the used to be the Spurs Up Show or whatever has interviewed him before.
SEC Unfiltered.
Yeah, and he said that his product is always the last one to come out because it takes so long for him to get it together, and they work throughout June, fine tuning everything with the magazine before they release it. So
yeah. Well, I don't know if you want me to leak a little bit of it, but we got some Gamecock representation on the All-SEC preseason team. I was going to run it by you.
On offense or defense?
A little bit of both, believe it or not, and a little special teams.
Who they had defense? One got to be Debo Williams.
Yep.
I don't know, Tonka Hemingway.
Yep. and Eamon Worry.
Oh yeah.
And then on offense, you got only Rogers. I think that's Rocket Sanders. I don't know why it's got Rogers. I guess they don't have his nickname, but Rogers. No, this is our long snapper, Hunter Rogers. They got Hunter Rogers, Raheem Sanders, Kai Kroger, Debo Williams, Eamon Worry, and Tonka. So we got 6 on the All-SEC team, preseason team.
They got Rocket Sanders on the All-SEC preseason team?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
According to Phil Steele.
Oh, he
he had 1,400 yards in 2022. It's probably just because he's coming off injury, but that 2 years ago he did have 1,400 yards.
He ripped the SEC a new ass.
Oh, hell yeah. He ripped us a new ass.
Yeah, he did. So, I don't know.
But hopefully we'll see some production out of him. Rob, who do you think is going to be your difference makers next year outside of like your Barrett Carter and Peter Woods? Who on defense is going to be y'all's difference makers? I've been thinking about that.
I think the secondary is going to be good, but I think they're going to lean on that defensive line with Woods, and they're expecting him to make a big jump. But it's going to be an issue of can they keep the depth there and keep keep the games in front of them. You know what I mean? Can they not battle the injury bug and deal with that. And the magic number for the offense, in my opinion, if the offense puts up 24 points, Clemson goes 12-0. They
24?
24 points a game on offense, then I'm that confident in the defense, Clemson could go 12-0. But they're not putting up 24 points on Georgia. So,
well, who do you think outside of like your Georgia and Florida State could come up and bite you in the ass this year?
I think Florida State's going to be a flop. So I don't even put Florida State in the same stratosphere.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand all the hype. I mean, these publications have them, and Clemson virtual dead heat to win that conference, but they lost a ton of production, and they have to have like one of the lowest numbers of returning production in the conference.
Well, and we know their second string is garbage. Look what Georgia did to them. Kirby's could have scored 100 points.
That was their damn. Well, yeah.
Just saying.
Well, they did bring in another good class. I think the Uke is going to be decent for him. He's coming in more matured. He had a decent year for the Beeve last year.
The only thing that he's more matured is he's older. I don't know.
I don't know. I think he got humbled having to go to Oregon State. You don't think?
What?
That had to have humbled him.
No. It sounds like you're taking a shot at the Beeve there.
I mean, I'm taking a slight shot at the Beeve.
You took a slight shot at the Beeve. That's not cool.
I'm taking a slight. I mean, they had a good year, but I mean, granted, they had an awesome.
They're orphans, them in Washington State because they got left out. They don't have a conference to go to.
Well, that's why I'm saying it had to have humbled him a little bit. I think he's matured through his move. I think he's going to have a pretty good year for Florida State. And I was just pulled up their transfer class. I mean, it's pretty damn good. They got 10 4-stars. I mean, all of them are going to make an immediate impact. And they built their whole team last year off transfers. So why would it be any different? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Yeah, but to be fair, I don't know if like having or rent a team every year is going to be the best way to go. I think you need a combination of the two, and I think they lean too much on it. But we'll see how it works. I mean, maybe Norvell's right. I don't know.
I mean, he's definitely, apart from old prime time, I think he's definitely embraced it the most of any Power 5 school. I mean, all we've seen is success from it thus far, but I think if it starts to go sour, I don't think he's going to be able to right the ship, man. He's put all his chips on the table, and you get a string of 2 bad classes, man.
Lane Kiffin uses the shit out of it too.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he did this past year.
Yeah, I know. Out of their 22 projected starters this coming season, do you know how many of them are transfers?
No, 17, right? 17, 18. Isn't it?
Damn.
18, yeah.
And that's from just these past 2 classes or this past class?
I guess it's like a combination.
Shit.
Yeah. Even their kicker's a fucking transfer. I mean, it wasn't the kicker. It was the long snapper. The long snapper's a transfer.
The long snapper.
There's a choking.
All right. I've got I want to read Big Barney Ross's super chat. He says, how many wins for Clemson does it take for Dabo to say, see, I told you I didn't need the portal? I mean, 10?
Start off 4-0.
For me. 10 for me. Win against Georgia in the opener, and you're going to shut a lot of people up with that. And trust me, he'll be happy to do that. Hey, I went with my high school transfers and just beat the Georgia Bulldogs. You think Sweeney wouldn't say that shit? You're out of your mind.
Well, let's say
I go shake his hand at midfield and say, we stand on business, Kirby.
Let's say Clemson continues on their track. They become an 8-win program. How many years do you think y'all give Dabo before y'all run him out?
3.
So 3 years from now, you think if it's 8-8-8, y'all fire him?
I think it's 3 8-win seasons, and there has to be a loss to South Carolina in there, and I think he's gone. The loss to South Carolina is the cherry on top, especially if it's the
I would love to beat Clemson and us be the reason Dabo gets fired. I couldn't think of a better crown to wear. That would be amazing.
But that's the kind of thing. It's like when you guys lose games to Vanderbilt, generally your coach gets fired, except for Spurrier.
I was at that last loss in 2008. I was there, damn it.
What was it? That was the loss that got Brad Scott fired was Vanderbilt.
Yeah, we were good that year, man. We were good.
All right. Well, hey, I gotta let you go because I got one thing I want to pitch to Jackpot before we get out of here. Thanks, Rob.
Let me leave you with this.
Sure.
Go Gamecocks. You hear that sandstorm brewing? We're coming for you. We're coming for the playoffs, baby.
Brewing off in the distance.
We're coming for the playoffs. Mark my words.
Maybe
the first
you guys will remember
playoff home game will be in Williams-Brice this year. Damn it! Woo!
Okay. All right, Jackpot. I want to show you this before we get out of here because this is actually kind of cool. Hold on, let me bring it up here really quick. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
John Dorman says Davos payout is too high. Clemson is stuck with him. That's probably right.
So this is thanks to our buddies at Clemson Sports Talk. We love Lawton Swan. He posted this earlier. This is from Andy Staples, and he has his projected 12-team field. And he says, remember, the top 4 seeds have to be conference champs, and the top-ranked group of 5 champ gets in. What that means, the number 5 seed might actually be the number 2 or 3 seed. So think about that for a second, which is why he has Alabama at 5. And he says, also, you're going to be very mad if your team is a power conference team ranked 12th in the final rankings. But he's got Ohio State, Georgia, Kansas State, and Florida State getting the buys. Michigan, Notre Dame is the 8-9 game. 7-10 matchup is Ole Miss and Texas. An all SEC matchup there. Followed by Oregon and Tennessee on the bottom, and Alabama and Boise State as the 5-12 matchup. What do you think of that?
I don't see Tennessee getting in. I think Missouri gets in, maybe.
Right.
I don't see that. Because because they're going to have losses there if Alabama seed ahead of them. So they think they're going to lose to Alabama and they're going to lose to Georgia. Okay, both of those are expected losses. Josh Heupel has shit the bed. 2021 was his first season. The past 2 seasons, he shit the bed and lost a game that he shouldn't. So, right. I mean, they're expected to lose those 2 games. So I'm telling you that I don't think that Kentucky loss is that far-fetched. I really don't. And I think they'll lose. I think they lose that game to Oklahoma, too. So, okay, so if he thinks they're losing to Georgia and Alabama, then there's Oklahoma there. So there you go. I'm not that sold on that. They don't have a damn secondary.
Right.
They're going to get tossed all over. They have one legitimate running back. Normally they've had like a 3-guy rotation with Jabari Small, whoever the other one was, and then Dylan bitch-ass Sampson. Well, bitch-ass Sampson is your guy right now. They don't have anybody really behind them. I ain't seeing that. Fucking Michigan? What the fuck? Yeah. Michigan lost most of their production too. I don't see that.
But see,
for the Big Ten, Penn State will be there before, not Michigan.
Right.
And I think Oklahoma State. I think Oklahoma State wins the Big 12, not Kansas State.
All of what you said makes sense, but when it comes down to this, what you're saying is that Michigan is going to lose to Ohio State because obviously if Ohio State is the 1 seed, and you're going to have 2 Big Ten teams there. We got 1 independent in Notre Dame. The Boise State game, I guess that's your Power 5 or a group of 5 team that's going to get in anyway. I don't think that the committee will lean that SEC heavy where you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 SEC teams out of the 12. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's a little bit too heavy because they got to play each other.
Yeah, you know exactly. I think it's a little far-fetched.
It's a little far-fetched, and I'm not pissing on the SEC. If it were any other conference, I just think 5 teams out of one conference in a 12-team field, they've played each other. And I don't think that math just doesn't work.
That's also pinning Ole Miss there with 2 losses because they play. No, they don't play Alabama.
No,
they don't. That's thinking they lose to Georgia, and did they? Oh, I think they play Oklahoma.
Right.
I don't think they play Texas. Okay, so maybe they. Yeah. They got a pretty ridiculously easy schedule too.
I just think it's when it comes down to it, there's just too many holes there where these teams like, I mean, Michigan will be in. The Michigan one really dropped me a little bit there, and Notre Dame though not, because Notre Dame will. I looked at their schedule. Have you looked at Notre Dame's schedule yet, Jack? Probably pull it up really quick before we get out of here.
Yeah, it's horseshit.
It is horseshit. So Notre Dame.
they normally have that one tough game a year, like the game against Ohio State, or
and they start
Georgia one year.
They start on the road at A&M, so there's your tough game to start the season off. So that might be
not the caliber of those others, but okay.
I mean, winning at Texas A&M, first game of the season, you don't know what you got yet. That's not exactly, Northern Illinois, which is who they play in week 2. So, followed by Purdue, which they go to Purdue.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm giving you the schedule here. They come home for Miami of Ohio. Then they're home for Louisville and Stanford. Then they play Georgia Tech, Navy, Florida State, and Virginia.
Oh.
So, and then of course they've got Army and Southern Cal, but I don't know. I mean, what a mess. If they roll through that, if they get to the Tech game with just, or if they get to the Florida State game and they only have 1 loss, they should be right in the mix.
Was that Purdue? Was that Notre Dame where Purdue tried to take their drum a few years ago and it wouldn't fit in the stadium?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Anyway,
that's crazy. Like it's like, I mean, they've played each other on a fairly regular basis, I think. So, like, I mean, did they change the dimensions of the entrance to the stadium where said drum is brought into the stadium from the outside, or did they just get a bigger drum?
Points to ponder with Carolina Jackpot.
I don't fucking drum.
Why does ice cream? No, I'm picking. Why can't you put toothpaste back in the tube?
Because because they don't fuck with stuff at Notre Dame very much. I mean, they did expand that stadium about 30 years ago, but
yeah, you can't screw around at Notre Dame. It's not gonna. Nope, they don't want to change anything up there.
Yeah, so I don't know. That Purdue must have gotten a bigger drum.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Jackpot, we've had a great show this evening. Did you put your College World Series pick out there?
No.
Do you have one?
No. I don't know.
I'm rolling with Virginia, just so you guys know.
Virginia's gonna win it.
I got Virginia winning the whole thing.
Why Virginia?
Because I think they've been overlooked, and I think that they've got great pitching, and they timely hit, and they're a veteran club that went to Omaha last year, and I think they're not going to, the stage isn't going to be too big for them. The biggest stretch for them will be that first game of in the series, because they play North Carolina first. They took 2 out of 3 from North Carolina this year already, so they're not going to be intimidated by them. But I think that I'll take Virginia against the other 7.
Man, they stand as good a chance of any.
Ryan says ACC homer is why. Ryan, you don't know what you're talking about, sir.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I'm still kind of perturbed about that ACC SEC basketball challenge for the Gamecock. What the fuck? I mean, you couldn't come up with a better opponent for us than Boston fucking College. I mean, give me some Gamecocks Wake, or give me Gamecock Virginia Tech, or Louisville. Rekindle old Metro Conference rivalry there. Or
Well,
shit.
Gamecocks Florida State would be an interesting matchup. Why not?
Or Gamecock Georgia Tech. But fucking Boston College, I knew it would be them or Pitt. I just knew it.
Well,
Fucking
they don't.
Nobody
They
cares
don't.
about.
There's Lamont Paris has to gain more respect for the South Carolina program if they continue to have seasons like they had last year, where they go and make some noise and they're right there in the end and making Tennessee sweat to win the conference. They'll start getting better draws in the SEC ACC challenge, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I'm just being honest with you. I think that
I mean, not that it's not bad. I mean, that's a team I think they can beat, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, but you win against them, it could help your resume later on.
That's right. It could be one of those quad 2 wins, you know.
Yeah, quad 2 wins, sir. Those are important. All right. Well, Jackpot, we've had a great show. We'll be back at it on Sunday evening. We appreciate you guys as always. Make sure you follow us on our Facebook channel. Jackpot's on Twitter at Hall_Kale. I'm on Twitter at Rob Sounds Good. Follow us there. And, because both of us put out stuff there a good bit. And podcast, if you want to listen to the show, you can download it wherever you get your favorite podcast.
Download it, listen to it wherever. While you're working out, well, I expect a lot of you probably don't work out. You probably eat out like me, or when you're mowing the grass or whatever it is you do.
Well, I get messages from people on Saturday that listen when they're roaming around doing whatever the hell, like you said this or Jackpot said that. I mean, I get messages on that. So people do listen. The podcast draws downloads. So anyway, we just forget to mention it here. You can check out the podcast and make sure you subscribe to Jackpot on the TikTok.
TikTok, you don't stop. I'm fixing I'm gonna throw up one of those tomorrow. I recorded it today, but
Jackpot's bringing back.
It's too late right now for me to upload it. You don't usually get as much traffic on them if you upload things late. So,
people are asking to bring back the rundown.
Spoiler alert! I got some tacos in this one.
The rundown is coming back. It will be in the mix soon. All right. Anyway, so there's that. Appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to you later on.